many Americans are asking what on earth can be done to put a stop to gun violence, and how do we cope in the meantime? Clearly, we as Americans are very bad at grieving, and this is happening so often.
Right,
it's hard to grapple.
Every day. Clinical psychologist Dr. Adolph Brown is joining us now live to take a deeper look at this. Doctor, thanks for being with us this morning. A really important topic. A new poll from the Kaiser Family Foundation finding that more than half of U.S. adults, I just mentioned it, say they or a family member have been impacted by gun violence. That is an astonishing number. How do numbers like that affect the mental health, not only of the survivors and their family members, but of the entire country as a whole?
They adversely affect the mental health of people. People are shocked, they're fearful, and they feel deeply unsafe based on numbers like that. So it's very important that when we digest this type of information, that we also make sure that we honor our feelings about it.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because I don't feel that many of us are able to even honor some of those feelings anymore. It seems like we are hearing about these incidents. I mean, we're in a unique position, right, that we're talking about this a lot as journalists. But when I call family members and friends and different people, it's almost like we as Americans have started just glossing over some of these mass shootings because they're happening so often.
Yeah, and the danger in glossing over our feelings, these deep feelings, is the fact that we can't heal what we don't reveal. So when we have these feelings, they don't go anywhere. They contribute to anxiety. They contribute to depression, and that becomes another issue.
Well, that's with 1 in 5 American adults having lost a loved one to gun violence. And you hear that number, and I'm astonished by it, and also not. But that number also does include suicide, which is a real topic that is uncomfortable for people to talk about. I'm curious from you, from what you've seen and heard in your practice, because this does touch so many people, what role does access to guns play in these situations?
Access to guns is a huge role, but it's not the only role. It's important that we address a person's mental health. Right now, there's a culture of revenge whereby people that have either real grievances or perceived grievances want to get even. They're going to teach someone a lesson. So when we see that and combine that with poor mental health, and on top of someone having access to a firearm, that just creates potential for catastrophe.
Doctor, this latest attack in Kentucky you're talking about, this was a workplace shooting. We're seeing them in theaters, churches, schools, workplaces, all over. It's like we can't feel safe anywhere. Most of us go into the office 5 days a week. What are the best ways to combat anxiety, not only in the workplace, but basically everywhere we go, anywhere there's a crowd, etc.?
Well, the first part, again, I got to say, we have to honor our feelings. We can't keep suppressing our feelings because that leads to other things. They do come out. They will come out. The second thing is to look for balance in your life. Because these issues are being bombarded at us and thrown at us often in real time, take a break from those. And also learn to do something else. Get involved in your community. Being empowered in situations like this where we think that we can't do anything, it really helps to get involved in the community.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because I think we do talk about it so much when you do gloss over it. Just having this conversation, I think, is important to remind people that this is a big deal,
Yes.
and that these feelings really do matter. But I like having gratitude, too, for what we do have. So, Doctor, thank you for being with us. We appreciate you being with us this morning.
Thank you.